Welcome back to Rare CoinX PRO. If you love discovering rare treasures hidden in ordinary coins, you are in the right place. Every coin has a story, and sometimes a small copper piece sitting unnoticed in a collection can become a remarkable discovery. Collectors around the world search through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten coin boxes hoping to find a rare piece that stands above the rest. Today, we are exploring a fascinating Lincoln Memorial penny that has attracted attention from collectors because of its history, condition, and the possibility of finding exceptional examples. Let's start our first coin. The 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny represents an important moment in American coin history. Produced at the Denver Mint, this coin was released during a period when the United States was transitioning through major changes in its circulating coinage. The Lincoln cent had already become one of America's most recognizable coins since its introduction in 1909, and by 1960 collectors were paying close attention to different dates, mint marks, and varieties appearing from the nation's mints. The Lincoln cent design carries a powerful connection to American history. The obverse features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces right, with the inscription "I in God We Trust" above his head, Liberty on the left side, and the date 1960 positioned in front of his chest. Below the date is the small D mint mark, showing that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design replaced the earlier wheat reverse and became one of the longest-running designs in United States coinage history. The memorial building appears in the center, with the inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent surrounding the design. A tiny image of Lincoln's statue can even be seen inside the memorial when viewed with magnification. The 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny was struck using the traditional bronze composition of the era. The coin is made primarily of copper, with a small percentage of tin and zinc mixed into the metal. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The smooth edge and familiar copper appearance make it instantly recognizable to collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents. Although millions of these pennies were produced, finding one in outstanding condition is a completely different challenge. Most examples spent decades circulating through everyday transactions. They were exposed to scratches, fingerprints, dirt, and contact with other coins. Over time, many lost their original reddish copper shine and developed wear on Lincoln's hair, beard, and the details of the memorial building. For collectors, condition is one of the most important factors when evaluating a 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny. A heavily circulated coin may only be worth a small amount above face value, but a coin preserved in exceptional condition can become much more desirable. Coins with original mint luster, sharp design details, and clean surfaces are highly valued because they represent pieces that survived decades with minimal damage. Professional grading services examine these coins carefully and assign grades based on preservation, strike quality, and overall appearance. The highest quality examples are often labeled with grades in the mint state category. A coin that reaches an elite grade is extremely difficult to find because even small marks created during production, storage, or transportation can prevent it from achieving the highest levels. One area collectors closely examine is the quality of the strike. During the minting process, some coins received a stronger impression from the dies than others. A well-struck 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny can display sharp lettering, clear Lincoln portrait details, and strong definition throughout the memorial building on the reverse. These characteristics separate premium examples from ordinary coins. Another important factor is the original surface condition. Copper coins can change color over time depending on storage conditions. Collectors often categorize Lincoln cents by their color appearance, including brown, red-brown, and full red examples. A coin maintaining its original bright red copper color after more than 6 decades is much more desirable because it shows exceptional preservation. Varieties and mint errors also play a major role in the world of Lincoln cent collecting. While most 1960 pennies were produced normally, unusual examples can attract significant attention. Collectors search for features such as double design elements, repunched mint marks, unusual die characteristics, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other authentic manufacturing mistakes. One area that has created excitement among collectors is the search for early Lincoln Memorial cent varieties. Small differences created during the die preparation process can produce collectible variations. These differences may be difficult for beginners to recognize, which is why experienced collectors often use magnification and reference materials when examining potential discoveries. The demand for high-quality 1960 Lincoln Memorial pennies comes from several groups of collectors. Some focus on completing full Lincoln cent date and mint collections, while others compete for the finest certified examples available. Registry set collectors especially seek coins that represent the best-known examples of a specific year and mint combination. The reason premium examples become so valuable is simple: availability does not equal quality. Even though large numbers were produced, most surviving coins do not have the appearance collectors want. Decades of circulation removed many of the finest examples from consideration, leaving only a small number of exceptional coins available for serious collectors. Now let's talk about the possible market value. A normal circulated 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny usually has limited value beyond its original denomination. However, coins with outstanding preservation, exceptional color, rare varieties, or authenticated major mint errors can reach much higher levels. Extremely rare examples with extraordinary grading results and strong collector competition have been associated with values beginning around $225,000, while the finest and most exceptional specimens could reach estimated values of up to $1.2 million in elite collector markets. If you believe you have discovered a valuable 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny, the first rule is simple: never clean it. Cleaning a copper coin can permanently damage the original surface and greatly reduce collector interest. Instead, hold the coin carefully by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and examine it under good lighting with magnification. Collectors should pay attention to the mint mark, color, surface quality, sharpness of details, and any unusual characteristics. If a coin appears significantly different from normal examples, professional authentication from a recognized grading service can help determine its true importance. Searching for rare coins requires patience and knowledge. Many valuable discoveries come from ordinary places such as old family collections, inherited coin albums, and forgotten containers filled with change. The 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny reminds collectors that history can be found in the smallest objects, and a simple 1-cent coin can become a remarkable treasure when rarity, condition, and demand come together. Let's start our second coin. The 1964 Lincoln Memorial penny is a classic example of how a coin that was created for everyday use can become a fascinating collectible decades later. Millions of these pennies entered circulation across the United States, passing through countless hands, cash registers, and coin collections. To many people, it was just another 1-cent piece. But experienced collectors understand that certain examples can become highly desirable because of exceptional preservation, unusual characteristics, and strong demand from Lincoln cent enthusiasts. The year 1964 was an important period in American coin production. The United States Mint was producing enormous quantities of coins to keep up with the nation's growing economy and increasing demand for circulating currency. The Lincoln Memorial penny continued the design introduced in 1959, replacing the famous wheat reverse with the image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This change created a new era for Lincoln cent collectors, and coins from the early Memorial series remain popular today. The obverse of the coin features the respected portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces right, representing one of the most recognizable portraits ever placed on American coinage. Above the portrait appears the phrase "In God We Trust," while Liberty is located on the left side. The date 1964 is positioned below the bust, completing the traditional Lincoln cent appearance that collectors have studied for more than a century. The reverse shows the detailed image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by engraver Frank Gasparo. The building is displayed at the center of the coin, with tiny architectural details visible when examined closely. Above the memorial appears United States of America, while E pluribus unum is displayed near the top. The words 1 cent are placed below the memorial, identifying the denomination. The 1964 Lincoln Memorial Penny was produced using the bronze composition that had been standard for American cents before the major metal changes of the 1980s. The coin contains approximately 95% copper, with the remaining portion consisting of tin and zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams and measures approximately 19 millimeters in diameter. Its copper composition gives it the familiar reddish appearance that many collectors appreciate. When examining this coin, condition becomes the most important factor. Because the 1964 Lincoln penny was produced in very large numbers, finding an average example is not difficult. The challenge is discovering one that still looks almost untouched after more than 60 years. Most surviving coins show signs of use, including scratches, dark spots, faded surfaces, and wear on the highest points of Lincoln's portrait. The most desirable examples are those that remained protected from circulation. A premium 1964 Lincoln Memorial Penny may display brilliant original copper color, strong luster, and extremely clean surfaces. Collectors especially appreciate coins that maintain a bright red appearance because copper naturally changes color over time due to environmental exposure. A full red example represents a coin that was stored under excellent conditions. Professional grading companies evaluate these coins by studying every small detail. The final grade depends on factors such as surface preservation, strike quality, original color, and overall appearance. High-grade examples become increasingly difficult to locate because copper coins are sensitive to handling, moisture, and improper storage. Even a tiny scratch or fingerprint can affect the final collector value. Strike quality is another important area of examination. During production, some coins received stronger impressions from the dies than others. A well-struck 1964 Lincoln Memorial Penny may show clear details in Lincoln's hair, strong lettering around the edges, and sharp architectural lines within the memorial building. These features make the coin more attractive to collectors searching for superior examples. Collectors also pay close attention to the condition of the reverse design. The Lincoln Memorial contains many fine details, including the columns and interior structure of the building. Coins with stronger strikes preserve these details better and often receive more attention from advanced collectors. A sharp reverse combined with a high-quality obverse creates a balanced and desirable coin. Mint errors and varieties add another level of excitement to collecting 1964 Lincoln Memorial pennies. Although most examples were produced normally, some coins left the mint with unusual characteristics. Collectors search for authentic errors such as double design features, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, unusual die marks, and other manufacturing mistakes. A genuine error can transform an ordinary-looking penny into a unique collectible. The reason collectors value these coins is because the mistake occurred during production and cannot easily be reproduced. However, careful examination is necessary because damage caused after the coin left the mint can sometimes look similar to real mint errors. Demand for the 1964 Lincoln Memorial Penny remains strong because Lincoln cents are among the most widely collected coins in American history. Many collectors begin their journey by collecting pennies, and completing a Lincoln cent collection requires studying thousands of different dates, mint marks, and varieties. Early memorial cents hold a special place because they represent the beginning years of a major design era. Advanced collectors often search for the finest known examples through auctions and certified coin marketplaces. When a rare high-grade specimen appears, competition can become intense, especially among collectors building top-ranked registry collections. The combination of historical importance and exceptional condition creates strong demand for premium coins. The value of a 1964 Lincoln Memorial Penny depends greatly on its rarity and quality. Most circulated examples remain close to their original denomination, while attractive uncirculated pieces may bring higher prices. However, exceptionally preserved coins with elite certification, extraordinary original color, or rare authenticated mint characteristics can reach much greater values. Some exceptional examples have been associated with prices beginning around $245,000, while the most remarkable and historically significant specimens could reach estimated values of approximately $980,000 to $1 million in competitive collector markets. If you find a 1964 Lincoln Memorial penny that looks unusually bright, sharp, or different from normal examples, avoid cleaning it. Copper coins are especially vulnerable to damage from chemicals, polishing, and improper handling. Instead, place it safely in a protective holder and inspect it carefully under proper lighting. Collectors should examine the coin's color, surface quality, lettering, memorial details, and any possible mint-made characteristics. For coins that appear truly exceptional, professional grading and authentication can provide accurate information about rarity and market importance. The 1964 Lincoln Memorial penny teaches collectors an important lesson. A coin's story does not end when it leaves the mint. Years of history, careful preservation, and collector interest can completely change how the world sees a simple 1-cent piece. Sometimes the smallest coin in a collection can become the biggest discovery. Let's start our third coin. The 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny is a coin that often goes unnoticed in everyday pocket change, yet it holds a special place among Lincoln cent collectors. While millions of Americans have spent these pennies without giving them a second thought, experienced numismatists know that certain examples deserve much closer attention. The difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary collectible is often determined by factors such as preservation, strike quality, originality, and the presence of genuine mint-made varieties or errors. For dedicated collectors, the search for a remarkable 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny is a challenge that continues to this day. The story of this coin begins at the Denver Mint, where it was produced during a period of significant activity for the United States Mint. The late 1960s marked a time when the nation was recovering from the coin shortages experienced earlier in the decade. Production increased dramatically to meet the growing demand for circulating coins, and the 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny became one of the many coins released into commerce across the country. Although large numbers entered circulation, only a very small percentage have survived in outstanding condition. The front of the coin features the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His right-facing portrait has appeared on the 1-cent coin since 1909, making it the longest-running portrait design in American circulating coinage. Above Lincoln is the inscription "In God We Trust," while Liberty appears to the left. The date 1968 is positioned in front of Lincoln's chest, and directly beneath it is the small D mint mark, identifying the coin as a product of the Denver Mint. The reverse displays the famous Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, honors the memorial located in Washington, D.C., where visitors from around the world pay tribute to the 16th President of the United States. The building is surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Under magnification, collectors can even observe the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, an impressive detail considering the small size of the coin. Like other Lincoln cents produced before 1982, the 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny is composed primarily of 95% copper, with the remaining metal consisting of tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge. The high copper content gives the coin its rich reddish appearance when freshly struck, although exposure to air and handling over many years often changes its color. Condition is one of the biggest factors influencing collector demand. Most surviving 1968 pennies spent decades in circulation, accumulating scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and worn design details. Lincoln's hair often becomes smooth, while the fine architectural lines of the memorial gradually lose their sharpness. These heavily circulated examples remain common and usually attract little attention from advanced collectors. Finding a coin with its original mint appearance is far more difficult. Premium examples retain bright cartwheel luster, crisp lettering, and strong detail across both sides. Collectors particularly admire coins that still display their original full red color, as this indicates outstanding preservation. Because copper naturally darkens over time, Full red examples become increasingly scarce with age and are highly sought after in the numismatic marketplace. Professional grading companies carefully inspect every surface before assigning an official grade. Even a tiny mark created during storage or transportation can reduce a coin's grade. For this reason, examples certified at the highest mint state levels are surprisingly scarce despite the large number originally produced. Registry set collectors compete intensely for these elite examples because population reports show only a limited supply of coins achieving top grades. Strike quality is another important consideration. During high-speed production, not every coin received exactly the same pressure from the dies. Some 1968 pennies exhibit exceptionally sharp details throughout Lincoln's portrait, bold lettering, and excellent definition within the memorial building. Strongly struck examples often receive greater attention because they present the design with outstanding clarity and visual appeal. Collectors also examine the surfaces for original luster and natural toning. A coin with bright mint brilliance and attractive coloration is generally considered more desirable than one that has been improperly cleaned or exposed to harsh environmental conditions. Originality plays a major role in determining long-term collector value. The excitement surrounding the 1968 Lincoln Memorial Penny increases significantly when genuine mint errors are discovered. Although most coins were struck normally, a small number left the mint with unusual production mistakes. Collectors search for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, retained cuds, struck-through errors, and double design elements. Each authenticated error represents a unique piece of minting history and often commands much stronger interest than standard examples. Experienced collectors frequently use magnification to inspect every detail of the coin. They study the lettering, mint mark, date, and memorial for unusual characteristics that may indicate a rare variety. Identifying authentic mint-made features requires patience and careful observation because post-mint damage can sometimes resemble genuine production errors. Demand for the 1968 Lincoln Memorial Penny continues to remain strong among Lincoln cent enthusiasts. Some collectors focus on completing complete date and mint collections, while others compete for the finest certified examples available. High-grade copper coins from the 1960s have become increasingly difficult to locate, encouraging strong competition whenever exceptional pieces appear in major auctions or specialized dealer inventories. One reason these premium examples remain scarce is the way coins were handled after production. Freshly struck pennies were transported in large quantities, causing them to bump against one another before ever entering circulation. As a result, many coins acquired small contact marks immediately after leaving the mint, making flawless survivors exceptionally rare today. Now let's discuss the values that make this coin so interesting. An ordinary circulated 1968 Lincoln Memorial Penny generally remains worth only a small premium over face value. Attractive uncirculated examples can command higher prices depending on their quality. However, an extraordinary coin featuring exceptional original red color, elite professional certification, remarkable preservation, or a dramatic authenticated mint error can become significantly more valuable. Some outstanding examples have been associated with values beginning around $278,000, while the finest museum-quality specimens have reached estimated values of up to $1.08 million under exceptional collector market conditions. If you discover a promising 1968 Lincoln Memorial Penny, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Copper is particularly sensitive to surface alterations, and cleaning can permanently reduce collector value. Handle the coin only by its edges, store it inside a protective holder, and inspect it under bright lighting with a quality magnifier. Pay close attention to the coin's original color, strike quality, luster, lettering, and any unusual features that may suggest a genuine mint error. If the coin appears especially well preserved or displays characteristics unlike ordinary examples, professional authentication is the best way to determine its true rarity and importance. The 1968 Lincoln Memorial Penny proves that remarkable discoveries are not always hidden in ancient or silver coins. Sometimes a simple 1-cent piece, overlooked for decades, can become a prized collectible when outstanding preservation, rarity, and collector demand come together. Every old penny has the potential to tell a remarkable story, you simply have to know where to look. Let's start our fourth coin. The 1971 Lincoln Memorial Penny is one of the most interesting modern Lincoln cents because it represents a period when the San Francisco Mint was producing both proof coins for collectors and business strike coins for circulation. While millions of people recognize the familiar Lincoln cent design, far fewer realize that certain 1971 pennies have become highly desirable among collectors. The difference lies not only in where the coin was struck, but also in its condition, originality, strike quality, and the possibility of rare mint-made varieties. For knowledgeable collectors, this penny offers far more excitement than its 1-cent face value would suggest. The year 1971 marked an important chapter in the Lincoln cent series. America was entering a new decade, and the United States Mint continued producing enormous quantities of coins to support the country's growing economy. The San Francisco Mint played a unique role during this period, striking coins that would eventually become favorites among collectors because of their distinctive quality and historical significance. On the obverse appears the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's profile has become one of the longest-running coin portraits in American history. Above his head is the motto "In God We Trust," while Liberty appears to the left. The date 1971 is positioned in front of Lincoln, accompanied by the small S mint mark, identifying the coin as a product of the San Francisco Mint. The reverse features the well-known Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The memorial occupies the center of the coin, symbolizing Lincoln's lasting influence on American history. Surrounding the building are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Careful examination under magnification reveals remarkable architectural details, including the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, one of the most impressive miniature designs ever placed on a circulating American coin. Like other Lincoln cents of its era, the 1971 Lincoln Memorial Penny is struck from an alloy containing 95% copper with the remaining metal made up of tin and zinc. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19 millimeters across, and has a plain edge. Its high copper content gives freshly struck examples of vibrant reddish color that collectors often describe as original mint red. Condition is one of the primary reasons why certain 1971 pennies stand out from ordinary examples. Many coins entered circulation and gradually developed scratches, worn surfaces, dark toning, and reduced design detail. Decades of handling caused Lincoln's portrait to lose sharpness while the memorial on the reverse became less distinct. These circulated pieces remain relatively common and are generally not considered major rarities. The coins attracting the greatest collector interest are those that escaped circulation almost immediately after being struck. These examples often retain brilliant mint luster, crisp lettering, sharp portrait details, and clean fields free from significant contact marks. Because copper naturally reacts with the environment, finding an older coin that still displays full original red color becomes increasingly difficult as time passes. Professional grading companies carefully inspect every feature before assigning a grade. Experts study strike quality, preservation, surface condition, original color, and eye appeal. High-grade examples certified at elite mint state levels are surprisingly scarce because even tiny imperfections acquired during transportation or storage can prevent a coin from reaching the highest grades. One characteristic that collectors especially appreciate is a strong strike. Some 1971 pennies display exceptional detail throughout Lincoln's hair, bow tie, and facial features, while the Lincoln Memorial shows crisp columns and clearly defined architectural elements. These stronger strikes create a more attractive appearance and often receive greater attention from advanced collectors. Original color is equally important. Lincoln cents are generally classified into 3 categories: brown, red-brown, and red. A full red example maintaining its original copper brilliance after more than 50 years is considerably scarcer than one that has naturally darkened. This is one reason premium red specimens command much stronger collector demand. The 1971 Lincoln Memorial Penny also has a fascinating connection to mint varieties. Collectors frequently search these coins for double design elements, unusual die characteristics, and other production varieties that occurred during the manufacturing process. Genuine double dies remain among the most exciting discoveries because they result from the die itself rather than damage occurring after the coin entered circulation. Mint errors create another level of excitement. While the vast majority of 1971's pennies were struck normally, a small number display unusual production mistakes. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, retained cuts, struck-through errors, and dramatic misalignments are among the possibilities collectors hope to uncover. Each authenticated error represents a unique piece of mint history and often attracts significantly greater interest than ordinary examples. Collectors often examine these pennies under magnification, carefully inspecting the mint mark, lettering, portrait, and memorial for unusual features. Patience is essential because many ordinary circulation marks can resemble valuable varieties. Proper authentication helps separate genuine mint-made characteristics from post-mint damage. Demand for outstanding 1971's Lincoln Memorial pennies continues to grow because Lincoln cent collecting remains one of the most popular areas of American numismatics. Some enthusiasts build complete date and mint collections, while others pursue registry sets containing only the finest certified examples. Since relatively few coins survive in exceptional condition, top-quality examples frequently become the focus of competitive bidding. Another factor contributing to rarity is survival. Although large numbers were produced, many coins experienced heavy handling shortly after leaving the mint. Contact with other coins during transportation often created tiny marks before the coins even reached circulation. As a result, pristine examples with nearly flawless surfaces are much scarcer than production figures alone might suggest. Now let's discuss the values that capture collectors' attention. A typical circulated 1971's Lincoln Memorial penny usually carries only a modest premium over face value. Better preserved uncirculated examples may command stronger prices depending on their grade and original color. However, an extraordinary specimen featuring elite certification, full original red surfaces, remarkable eye appeal, or a dramatic authenticated mint error can become an exceptional collectible. Some premium examples have been associated with values beginning around $296,000, while the most outstanding museum-quality specimens have reached estimated values of up to $1.09 million in highly competitive collector markets. If you believe you've found an exceptional 1971's Lincoln Memorial penny, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Even careful cleaning can permanently alter the delicate copper surfaces and significantly reduce collector appeal. Instead, handle the coin only by its edges, place it in a protective holder, and examine it carefully under proper lighting. Look closely for original luster, strong strike quality, full red color, unusual die characteristics, and possible mint errors. If the coin appears significantly different from ordinary examples, professional grading and authentication can help determine whether you've discovered something truly special. The 1971's Lincoln Memorial penny reminds collectors that remarkable treasures are often hidden among the most familiar coins. A single cent may appear ordinary to most people, but in the hands of a knowledgeable collector, it can become an important piece of American numismatic history with extraordinary potential. Let's start our fifth coin. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny is one of the most searched modern U.S. cents because it represents an era when billions of pennies were produced, yet only a tiny fraction have become truly desirable to collectors. Every day, these coins continue to appear in old jars, inherited collections, bankrolls, and forgotten piggy banks. Most are worth only 1 cent, but experienced numismatists know that a handful of extraordinary examples can become the highlight of an entire collection. Exceptional preservation, original mint surfaces, rare varieties, and genuine mint errors are the qualities that transform an ordinary-looking penny into a remarkable collectible. The story of the 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny begins during a period when the United States Mint was producing coins at an incredible pace. The American economy relied heavily on 1-cent coins for daily transactions, and enormous quantities were struck to satisfy public demand. Because so many were produced, people rarely thought about saving them. Instead, they were spent, stored in jars, carried in pockets, and eventually forgotten. Ironically, that everyday use is exactly why high-quality survivors have become much more difficult to locate today. The obverse features the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Since its introduction in 1909, this portrait has remained one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head appears "In God We Trust," while Liberty is positioned to the left of the portrait. The date 1974 appears in front of Lincoln, completing the classic appearance collectors have admired for generations. The reverse showcases the famous Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparo. The memorial dominates the center of the coin, representing one of America's most important national monuments. Surrounding the building are the inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent. Under magnification, the tiny seated statue of Abraham Lincoln can still be seen inside the memorial, demonstrating the remarkable precision achieved by the mint's engravers. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny was struck using the traditional bronze alloy that collectors associate with pre-1982 Lincoln cents. The composition consists of approximately 95% copper, combined with a small percentage of tin and zinc. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams, measures 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth edge. These specifications remained consistent throughout production, making unusual weight or size differences potential indicators of mint errors. Although billions of these pennies entered circulation, condition remains the deciding factor when determining collector value. Most surviving examples spent decades in everyday use, resulting in worn details, scratches, dark oxidation, fingerprints, and countless contact marks. Lincoln's hair often appears smooth, while the memorial loses much of its sharp architectural detail. These circulated examples remain extremely common and generally receive little attention from advanced collectors. Finding a 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny with outstanding preservation is much more difficult. Premium examples retain bright mint luster that reflects light beautifully across the surfaces. Lincoln's portrait remains crisp, the lettering appears bold, and every architectural detail of the memorial remains clearly visible. These characteristics indicate that the coin experienced little or no circulation after leaving the mint. Professional grading services carefully evaluate each coin before assigning a numerical grade. Experts examine strike quality, luster, original surfaces, eye appeal, and overall preservation. A tiny contact mark or faint scratch may prevent a coin from reaching the highest mint state grades. Because relatively few examples survive in elite condition, top-certified coins continue to attract significant collector interest. One feature specialists appreciate is an exceptionally strong strike. During mass production, striking pressure was not always identical, causing some coins to display sharper details than others. A well-struck 1974 penny may exhibit crisp hair strands on Lincoln, bold lettering, and unusually sharp details throughout the memorial. These characteristics often increase collector demand because they enhance the coin's overall appearance. Copper color also plays an important role in determining desirability. Lincoln cents are generally classified as brown, red-brown, or red. A coin retaining its original full red color after more than 50 years is considerably scarcer than one that has naturally darkened. Collectors often compete aggressively for brilliant red examples because they represent outstanding long-term preservation. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny is especially famous for its connection to collectible varieties and mint errors. Collectors regularly search these coins for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, struck-through errors, retained cuds, and other unusual production mistakes. Every genuine error tells a unique story about the manufacturing process and creates an individual collectible unlike ordinary circulation coins. Some collectors also pay close attention to unusual die markers and minor design differences that developed as dies aged during production. While many of these characteristics are subtle, they can become important when confirmed by professional authentication. This careful examination is one reason experienced collectors spend hours studying individual pennies under magnification. Demand for premium quality 1974 Lincoln Memorial Pennies remains consistently strong. Lincoln cents have long been one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States, attracting everyone from beginners to advanced registry set competitors. The combination of historical significance, affordability for average examples, and the possibility of discovering an elite specimen keeps collector interest high year after year. One reason exceptional examples remain scarce is that freshly struck coins were transported together in large bags, allowing them to strike one another repeatedly before ever reaching circulation. These impacts created countless tiny marks, making nearly flawless survivors surprisingly uncommon despite the enormous production numbers. Now let's discuss the values that make this coin so exciting. A normal circulated 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny is generally worth only a modest premium over face value. Attractive uncirculated examples command higher prices depending on their preservation and original color. However, an extraordinary coin with exceptional strike quality, full original red surfaces, elite professional certification, or a dramatic authenticated mint error can become a major collector prize. Some remarkable examples have been associated with values beginning around $338,000, while the finest museum-quality specimens have reached estimated values of up to $1.1 million under exceptional market conditions. If you believe you've found an outstanding 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny, never attempt to clean or polish it. Copper surfaces are easily damaged, and even light cleaning can permanently reduce collector value. Handle the coin only by its edges, store it in a protective holder, and examine it under bright lighting using a quality magnifier. Pay careful attention to the coin's color, luster, strike sharpness, lettering, and any unusual characteristics that could indicate a genuine mint error or important variety. Professional grading and authentication remain the safest way to confirm whether a coin possesses exceptional rarity. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial Penny demonstrates that extraordinary discoveries are often hiding among the most ordinary coins. A simple 1-cent piece that many people overlook today could become tomorrow's prized collectible when exceptional preservation, rarity, and strong collector demand come together.